talk about color, color is most important thing in our life. If you look at our surroundings, color is everywhere. Color is most used and abused. So it is very, very important if you want to understand design fundamentals and if you want to become designer. It is very important to understand phenomena of color. What is color? Why color reacts in certain way? What happens in our mind when we look at color? So what are the physiological aspect of color? What are the psychological aspect of color? What kind of environmental effect happens for around color? Even though we kind of do not talk about color, color becomes ingrained with our life actually. How color becomes very, very ubiquitous in our life. Color has a broad meaning. Color has subjective meaning. Color has psychological impact. So all of this putting together, we need to understand color in a better way. Color becomes very, very important aspect because color evokes emotion. Color emotes expression. Color gives you triggers. Color can make you cry. Color can make you feel loved. What kind of color you are using? It is very important that you use right and appropriate color. So color has multiple phenomena. Color has psychological aspects to understand. Color has physiological aspects to understand. The kind of environmental impact happens on color, that's also very important. Many times we kind of ignore color and we associate our choices, our likes and dislikes with color. But when you are designing, it becomes important to understand the phenomena of color so that you use right color in right manner to evoke certain kind of expression. Every smallest color you use has a meaning attached to it. Be it psychological, be it physiological, be it environmental. So all of these aspects are very important to understand. So what we will be doing in this, that we will take you through this phenomena one by one, and you will have to understand this thoroughly. When you start designing something, when you start using color, you understand this phenomena appropriately and then apply those things. As we discussed about three phenomena with color: physiological phenomena, psychological phenomena, and environmental phenomena. So when we say physiological phenomena, it is predominantly about how your eye perceives color. And when you see red, what happens inside your retina? What kind of cones get activated? In our eye, we have cones and rods which are responsible for perception of color. And this is a physiological phenomenon. So similarly, when we talk about psychological phenomena, there are three broader aspects to that psychological phenomena. There are global psychological phenomena, there are local phenomena, and then there are personal. You have certain association with certain kind of colors as personal association. So let's talk about example of global phenomena. And certain times for global phenomena, you require certain kind of training also in order to understand those color in standardized manner. So we can give example of traffic light. When we see traffic light, we have three predominant colors, which is red, yellow, and green. And all of us know that what does it mean. This phenomena is global phenomena. Wherever you go, when you see red light, it means stop. And then when you see yellow light, it means that you go slow. And when you see green light, you are ready to go. You can move ahead. So that's the common understanding globally. Now we come to local phenomena. So when we talk about local phenomena of color, we can look at our own surroundings, we can look at our own festivals and our own associations as group of people or society, looking at certain color. Let's say we consider red color as auspicious color. We use in Hindu wedding, we use red color as auspicious color, and red color is predominantly used in a joyful activity. And we do not consider white as joyful activity, or which is more, when we look at white color, it becomes a little more serious. It is calming, and probably also we connect with sadness. Similarly, black color also we connect with sadness. But in certain culture, this is not, white color is celebration. Black color is also a celebration in certain cultures. So it is all culture specific. When we talk about colors, it has got a predominant, major impact on culture and festivals of our surroundings and of our society. So similarly, when we look at certain colors, we have certain personal associations. We like yellow color, we like red color, and sometimes this association happens over a period with certain kind of things we like, and then we build our associations on those kind of colors. Now, as a designer, we need to understand all these associations appropriately. What is our act of doing when we are designing something? We have to look at the context. Are we looking at cultural context? Are we looking at global context? Or are we looking at personal context? And then we have to come up with our design. So as a designer, we can't add our own personal associations, especially when we are dealing with, we can't associate our personal choices for certain kind of design activity. When it comes to environmental impact on color, that's also a very important aspect. So if you look at, let's say, white color in a surrounding where we have a lot of trees, so we can imagine that when we have a lot of trees, we have green color surrounded by that particular object. So what happens on that particular white object? It has impact of that green trees which is surrounded by this particular object. So it has reflection coming of those green trees onto that white object. So, and this is how we perceive different color. That particular white object would have a certain impact of this green surrounding. So similarly, if you pick up any other color, it would have a certain environmental impact on the color. Now, if we talk about how scientists started looking at color, and first scientist who looked at light in completely different phenomena, like Newton looked at light from prism, and then he discovered that it is not just white light, it has the entire picture coming out of this white light. And that is the first instance scientists figured out color model. And after that, there were several other scientists and artists came together and also looked at different color models. Predominantly, we see color in two different ways. One is from reflective surface, another is from emitting surface. So emitting surfaces would have light coming from background, and then reflective surface, basically when we have any surface with a color, it reflects light from that particular surface, and that is how we see color in our eyes actually. So there are two different models, additive model and then subtractive model. So when we say reflective, it is subtracting light, it is absorbing all other lights and then reflecting one particular light. That is what we are seeing. Similarly, in emitting lights, we have all colors mixing. It gives you white, and in subtractive model, all color mixed, it gives you black. These are fundamental aspects of color. And now, if we look at how many colors our eye can perceive, it is much more than what we can produce by any means. We see a large gamut large amount of colors, what we use, what we can produce is very limited. So it has its own limitation when it comes to production. As a designer, we need to understand all this phenomena, that what we are seeing from our eyes, we are not going to produce all of those things in our application. So it becomes very important for designer to understand this phenomenon, that our eye can perceive large gamut, but when we produce, it will be smaller gamut. If you do not understand this phenomenon and then try to design something, there are a lot of gaps, and that is why it becomes very important to learn color in appropriate